You gotta do what you gotta do. Honestly,
you just
yeah, that's
I
me.
know.
It's like fun having a fashion color, like a fun different
Mm.
color, but like you have to take the coldest showers on your
Oh.
head. Like I cannot remember the last time I just took like a normal, nice, boiling hot shower and put my head under that faucet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Annoying.
I do because I just did it. It was awesome.
Yeah, mine was so hot. It was
Don't
awesome.
even, because that's what I want, but I'm doing it. You can't, honestly, the pink is like out a lot anyways, so maybe it doesn't matter, but I need to wait a month before my appointment. So,
Are you gonna redo it?
not as bright, but I think the like secondary color that she put in like the lower part of my hair, I think I will do that again because it's fun. And honestly,
Yeah.
it kind of made me feel a little fun, a little saucy. It made me feel
Totally.
like, I feel like people commented on it a lot. And, you know, what's not to love about a little attention?
Attention.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why we're here doing this today.
Correct.
Hence why we're blasting our voices for
why we have a
people to listen
podcast.
to.
Yeah. Can I just acknowledge the fact that we all took a shower today? Not only that, but at the same exact time. Like,
That's
what are
crazy.
The chances of that?
Yeah.
In 3 different time zones.
Well, it's nice. I love being showered before we record so that when we're done, I can just slink into bed.
No, same.
I have nothing else to do.
Slinkin'. I do
love
have a
that
question though,
Yeah.
pertaining to showers. Did you guys wash your belly button?
You're so stupid. I don't remember having like a huge moment of like ring around the rosy in my belly button.
Ring around the
Ew.
rosy is crazy.
Well, I don't either.
But I'm sure some soap may have slipped in. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I definitely didn't. I
No.
did not think about it. I did not do it. My belly button looks
She's looking
clean.
at her belly button.
I think about it when I dry it. Like when I'm drying off.
Yeah.
I'll do a little beep beep inside.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to necessarily count it as clean, you know? Are you
Maybe
good
I
there,
should
Kiki?
Get back in there. I know. What are you doing? I hate that
No,
sound.
Sorry, it's just so tight. Now it's better. Here's the thing. I don't think my belly button is that deep.
Mm.
That's
Maybe you
fine.
guys'
It doesn't. That's great.
belly
I'm
buttons are
happy
deeper.
for
Would you say
having
it's to your
having a
first
deep-
knuckle?
To the first knuckle.
I want to measure now. Everyone, if you're listening, unless you're driving a car, measure your belly button.
I'm putting my finger in
Why
my
can't
belly
you
button.
do it when you're driving a car?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, we're in there deep.
I'm scared of hurting myself.
Mine's like to the top of my nail.
Mine's
Mine's not
well,
that deep.
okay, here's the thing. I also
Oh,
still
Casey, what?
I told you.
That's how deep your belly button is?
That's how.
That's
I also
insane.
still
love
have
it.
like baby belly a little bit. So I think if I didn't have so much pudge on top, it wouldn't be as deep.
And I might have counted
But
a little pudge.
mine's definitely to my knuckle.
Oh, we're definitely like pretty sim.
Like there.
Yep.
Love it.
That-
Now everyone smell their fingers.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
You're so funny. I
Disgusting.
was thinking it.
You know you're going to do it, though, anyways. You're going to go out of frame and you're going to... There we go. Yep, I knew it. What does it smell like?
It actually smells like soap. It
Smells like
good.
nothing. Yeah. Smells like my finger.
Oh,
Kiara.
gosh.
Funny. That's
What?
Kiara.
I don't want to do it.
I want you guys to watch my hair dry in real time. This is really
It
exciting
smells
for
fine.
me.
I love it.
It smells fine. It's
I
going to
am-
be wet for the next like 4 hours. So
Yeah.
4 hours?
yeah.
Dang. Yeah, you have a lot of hair. Which
My
I didn't...
hairdresser, every time I have a hair appointment, she talks about how much she underestimated how much hair would be in my wedding party. Like I have long, thick hair. I had 8 bridesmaids, plus one of Noah's groom's women who had her hair done too. And we all had long, thick hair, at least to our boobs, and thick.
Oh yeah.
That's
And she
actually
was
really
like,
funny.
"Oh, just me. I'll be fine." You know, I was like, "You might want to bring someone," and she was like, "Oh no, it'll be okay." And
I think
it was like,
I think I
she was
ruined her
Russian.
life. I think I ruined her life. A little
Why?
bit. Just
Why
my
do you
hair.
say that?
What did
I-
you do with
I
your
sat in
hair?
the-
I forget.
Well,
You didn't really like it,
You
did
tried
you?
to do the like
Well,
slick back thing.
honestly,
Oh.
none of the curls were staying. They were all falling by the
Mm.
time she kind of finished. So I had to go back
Yeah.
in and like do a couple more things. And
Shush, if you will.
it ended up working out.
It looked great in the pictures. It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that's all that
Good.
matters. It was
Yes.
just, it's definitely like if someone hasn't done my hair before, it's like,
Which
Yeah.
typically at a wedding they don't, so they're
Correct.
just winging that thing.
right.
Yep.
They're looking at your hair and they're saying, "Well, you got 20
I remember
minutes."
I was in a wedding a couple summers ago, and the hairdresser was preemptively knew she was going to be running behind, which not great. She was late, and she asked each of us if we would start curling our hair, which great. But
Were you
then we
doing
were kind of
updos?
like, no, they were down. But then we were like, do we pay her $60 if she's literally putting 4 bobby pins in our hair?
That's the age-old thing.
You know, and so I did because I didn't want it to come back on the bride. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't have my phone
Probably
number. She had the
smart.
bride's. And so I didn't want to cause a ruckus, but there was like amongst us bridesmaids, like, if we're basically doing the work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
You're like, I am doing my hair and you are just hairspray.
you're literally pinning back. It was
Yeah.
the like half back with the little stringies down,
Yeah.
you know?
I
I
don't-
don't done it yourself at that.
I could have done it myself. Exactly.
I
In fact,
mean-
I have done that hairstyle myself.
That's kind of a hot topic too in terms of bridesmaids' hair. Like, I think there's maybe been one wedding where I've actually enjoyed my hair, and it's just because I'm like, oh, this would be a fun thing to do, and then when it's done, it's not even like it's bad because like they messed up. It's just I see it on myself and I'm like, that looks so unlike me,
Yeah.
and now I don't like it because it doesn't look like an everyday
It doesn't look like
look.
me.
It doesn't look like
Yes.
me. And then it's like,
Yes.
oh, it's fun, I guess, in theory. But then I get to like the pictures and I
Yeah.
look
So
back
which
and
of
I'm like,
our
oh.
weddings was that one that you
Just
liked?
say it. Just
Yeah.
freaking say it. Jeez.
Neither, to be honest.
Been in both
I
of our
don't even
weddings.
remember. I don't even remember how I did my hair for yours, Casey. It was so long ago.
I did like my hair in Casey's wedding. It was not a hairstyle I would have picked.
It looks
But I
so
liked
good
it.
on you.
It looked good. Yes.
Was it an updo?
It wasn't updo, and it was very like big.
Oh, it was
Very
gorgeous.
But it looked
It
good,
was
yeah.
gorgeous. I picked everyone's hairstyles. for
Yes.
them.
Oh,
it's a very
that's what
Casey
happened.
thing,
That's what happened.
And we had to get spray tans because we're not Mexican.
I didn't want you to be too white in the pictures.
Nope. But
I
Naomi
actually
didn't have
appreciate
to
that.
get one, so that's cool. Yep. But
Naomi
didn't. have-
didn't?
no, I don't think she did.
Why?
I don't remember. She just didn't.
Oh my gosh. I actually don't remember that. I do remember getting spray tans, and honestly, looking back at the pictures, I'm like, thank God, because I was
yeah.
pasty AF. So
Yeah. And then I went to Dublin right after that, and I went to Dublin looking good. I had
Speaking
my
of-
nails
You're welcome.
done. Yeah, yeah.
So thank you, Casey. Also, speaking of tanning, I'm not gonna lie, I went to the gym today and genuinely just went in the tanning bed, and I know it's bad for you, and I know it's gonna give me cancer, and like I'm
Do you use retinol?
really hope. I have some.
No,
you
she does not.
You
use it, though.
should.
I have some.
You should use it especially if you're tanning. You
Okay.
should use retinol because you're
Really?
gonna have wrinkles when you're 35. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, which is only like 5 years away, so that's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say 30, and then I was like, oh, that's next year. So 35.
How could someone else was like, oh wow, if you're born in like the 1900s, something, and I literally was like, excuse me.
In the 1900s,
I-
making us sound like we're Victorian
Correct.
women.
I hate that. First of all, never say those words again. Second of
Yeah.
all, we are in the mid of the 90s, not like
Oh,
in
we're
the
at
1900s.
the end. I like don't
You're
remember any
mid.
of the 90s.
You're mid,
Okay,
Kiera.
but you're
Yeah,
like 96.
We're 96. Yeah.
That's
So
a
you're
huge
still
difference.
mid.
It's
No,
a
it's
pretty
not.
big
No, it's
difference.
6
not.
months difference.
a
It's
pretty
literally
big
6 months difference. No, I have a thing where at work I say, well, next year I'm gonna be 30, and they're making fun of me, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, only like less than 20 days till I'm gonna start saying I'll be 30 this year, and they're like, oh gosh, they're like kind of like getting annoyed the fact that I'm saying like next year I'm gonna be 30, but I'm gonna use it to my advantage. I am going to use it for the fact that I'm not married, for the fact that my back hurts, for the fact that so many things, mainly pain, because I do have a bad back, And my
Aw.
mom recently, when I was with her, she was like, "Oh, my back is really hurting." I'm like, "Me too." And she's like, "You can't say that." I'm like, "But what if I can though?"
But actually, I can though, Yvonne.
right? What if I can? Because
Wow.
actually, it does.
Yeah.
I think I just have bad posture.
What's
so.
wrong with your back? Oh, okay.
Well, I think I have bad posture, and
What's
then
your bed like?
Honestly, my bed is great. What I
Okay.
think it has been is
Remember,
these
she just
flights.
upgraded.
I just
Mm,
upgraded
mhm.
to a queen. Thank
To a
you.
queen.
These
Size
beds
matters.
or not these beds. These flights that I've been flying on. Love the trips I've been taking on. Like literally, my
you-
November was
Hold
Boston.
Hold on.
What?
Are you actually about to blame your bad back on all of the flights you've been taking?
Well,
On Spirit Airlines.
well, kind of, because I only started to feel it on the way back from honestly, Denver wasn't even that bad. I think it was on the way back from Boston, and I think I just sat there and I was like, "Oh, I like really feel like a pain in my lower back."
Yeah.
And I think it was because too, like when you're like kind of hunched and your back's not fully touching the back, and then there's like a gap. I just feel like
and
all of my weight
I'm
went
tense on a plane too. I don't know about you,
correct.
but like it's never, even if it's a comfortable seat, I'm not comfortable.
No,
You know. And
Never.
in Denver, you slept the first night on that absolute table of a bed,
Correct.
and then slept on the
And
couch the other night.
I think, and the couch sleep, my back didn't hurt, and I think
Oh,
it's because it
wow.
actually was like a cloud.
Comfortable.
And
I think it was like a Joybird bed.
really,
It was a nice. Yeah, it was nice.
the one nice thing that they had on that,
Yeah.
after we saw the funeral from across the street,
funeral
but it's
garage
fine.
sale.
Actually, okay, thing about Yvonne too. Circling back to her, she showed me something that I had no idea you could do in Apple Music, which you guys don't, know Apple Music very well. But I'm gonna
Wait,
still
so
share it.
maybe it's talk to the viewers because I literally won't even be able to track. with you
Okay,
with
okay.
an
Since
out.
you guys
Nope.
can't relate, okay,
Apple Music, Zorb.
listeners, okay, if you guys listen to Apple Music, I learned recently you can view the credits for each song, and I didn't know that you. Casey literally.
Casey literally just left. She went to get her phone, which also
Casey
Kira,
literally
you
left.
can do that in Spotify too. So
Really? Okay. See, the thing is, I didn't know how, but I was trying to look up who like the songwriter for a song was, and I went to Apple Music and I literally was like, "Oh, you can see everything, like down to like the writers, the producers, the blah blah
Yeah.
blah." I don't even
think-
know.
Yeah.
at least on
Yeah.
Spotify, it's new though. Like I only
Oh.
noticed it in the last year. If you like scroll down, you can find that.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's new all around.
Yeah, I wonder if there was like a legislation thing.
No, I don't know. What even?
Like a law.
Oh, like just like.
Do you not know what legislation?
Well, like I know what you mean legislation, but like, what do you mean? Like, there's a new law that like you can view the credits. That just
well,
seems
like that
bizarre.
they have to
They
give
have to
credit.
give
you
credit.
know.
Give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, yeah. amen.
Essentially.
That's what America's all about. Legislation.
I'm actually
That's funny.
unwell.
Hey guys, welcome back to It's Been Forever. I'm Meredith.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Kiera.
And I have a story to start off.
Oh,
Our
okay.
episode.
Okay,
So
let's
this
hear
is a
it.
story. It's one of those stories where at the time it was happening, the world was ending.
Oh boy.
But now I look back on it and I was like, oh my gosh, I did that. Okay.
What? Okay.
So it is the season of Advent. This last Sunday was the second Sunday in Advent. I lead worship at a church. If you don't know what Advent is, it's just like the like time leading up to Christmas. So this last Sunday at church, I decided to spice up the worship team, and I had a choir. So spice.
How
We
did
love
you
a choir.
collect the choir? Like, how did you find them?
Well, it was people who have served like on vocals on our team.
Oh, okay.
In the past. So I just asked like 12 of them, and like 8 of them were able to.
Okay.
So I had like risers up. I had the baby grand piano out. I had the whole shebang.
I haven't thought about choir risers
haven't
in
either.
probably a
I know.
decade.
Wow.
I know.
You have risers at your church?
We do. I didn't
Wow.
realize how much of my job would be like so physical, like putting up things like that by myself. Last year I was pregnant, so I could kind of be like, hey, can someone help me with this?
Oh,
I'm
I loved
pregnant.
that.
I loved that. I don't have that now, which sucks. Now it's like do it yourself hag. So anyways, I had to do that. But anyways, so we do our first 2 songs of the service. They go super well. We go then our church has like a green room in the back, so we go to the back because there's some profession of faith stuff, which is when like teenagers or whoever comes up and acknowledge like a bit publicly makes a declaration.
Teenagers or whoever.
It basically is like freshmen or sophomores in high school come up
Okay.
and like declare that profess their faiths, you know. Anyways, so they had that, and then
because sorry, I was just like, why would they do that?
yes,
I
because
forgot.
they do infant baptism and then profession of faith when you're older, versus like how we grew up was baby dedications and then baptism when you're older.
Oh, that's controversial.
It's
Wait,
kind of-
did you?
it's
Wait,
kind of
were you
reverse.
baptized? Did you baptize Lainey?
no.
Okay.
Not that I don't.
What are
I
you
don't
gonna
necessarily have anything against it, but I liked being able to like choose for myself.
100%.
So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. Yeah, I'm
We
kind of
got-
waiting for the
We
day
got
that
Mara
like.
baptized.
Shut up!
I
No,
No, you
didn't.
didn't.
You did the. I saw the picture of the baby
Out of
dedication.
all 3 of us, you would be the least
Yeah.
likely to baptize
Yes.
Mira.
Yeah.
I know.
But that's also plug for my church. That's why I like my church, because whenever I was like interviewing to like work there full time, I fully was
Yeah.
like not super into the whole reformed thing. Like I don't know if I'm like, if I consider myself reformed. Like I'm probably not going to baptize my kids when they're babies. Like, you know, I was very straightforward, and they were like, "That's fine." Like,
Oh,
like
cool.
you like that's not like
A deal breaker.
a necessity for salvation, you know, whatever. Anyways, all that to say, that happened in the middle of the service. So when that was over, the youth pastor who like was in charge of that time was praying, and that's the band's cue to come back out, you know. So
Thank you.
we're walking back out, and I'm leading the next song. And I feel my nose like drip, and so I go and
Ooh.
wipe. My
Oh,
nose is bleeding.
don't tell me it's bleeding.
My nose is bleeding.
Wait, that's
so
Wait, what
random.
color?
So
what color
random.
dress are you wearing?
Tan.
Okay.
Oh, not
Tan
good.
with a pattern on it. But I'm leading it. Like I'm picturing live stream camera on my face, blood dripping down my face while I'm singing In Christ Alone. You know what I mean? Like
Wait, that's so
Christ
bad.
In Christ Alone /
That's so
On Christ
bad.
the Solid Rock I
In
Stand
Christ
mashup.
Oh, that is funny.
So I sprint to the back. I'm like elbowing through this crowd of the choir people that are trying to also come out. I'm like, my nose is bleeding. Let me through. Like, and so I grab a napkin and I rip off a little corner of it and I shove it as far up my nose as I
You
can.
would. You
Okay.
I shoved it
Okay.
so that like, because I didn't want it sticking out like a big white tuft
Yeah.
sticking out.
Right.
I just stick it up as far as I could, and I was like, if I inhale in my nose, this is going in me. Like I'm swallowing this sucker. You know what I mean?
Ew.
Oh, disgusting. I don't want to
So
think about
anyways, I sang that whole song with a napkin up my nose. And
And just,
I
like, mouth
listened back
breathed.
to it. It sounded so nasally because I had to mouth breathe like in between like
In
the
Christ
verses.
alone.
I'm like
I hope it's not.
panting into the and I sound
Oh,
like
gosh.
shaky and nervous because I'm like nervous
you
about
are.
like because then I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this tissue's way up my nose, but surely there's like red. Like surely it's
Oh
sticking up a little
gosh.
bit and
Yeah,
you
you're
can
like
see red or
self-conscious
something.
something.
That
But
is
I've asked
so
several
funny.
people, and no one has noticed. Half the
Oh
choir
wow.
didn't even notice.
That's great.
So that we talk about sometimes like rock and roll worship leader moments where like
Yeah.
the guitar player's fingers are bleeding, or like
Mm.
Andy my boss had that a couple weeks ago. He's playing piano and his like knuckle cracked, and so he got blood on the piano. And I was like, I don't know if
Oh,
I'll
gosh.
ever really have a moment at that level, but this was the most rock and roll that I
It
think
was.
I'll hit. And now that it's over and it went well, I'm like kind of proud of it a little bit.
Yeah,
You should be.
Like I
You
feel like
should
it's like
be.
a badge of honor. So
You're kind of ready for the next one, like a little
Oh,
bit,
man, that is
for
funny.
my like knuckles to bleed on the piano or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
or maybe
yeah.
just the next escalation up from nose. I don't know what that is. I don't know if Knuckles is. I think Knuckles is below.
Well, the next one is just for the blood to be dripping down into my mouth.
okay,
while
okay,
I'm
And you,
singing.
like,
okay.
the blood of Christ.
Some kind of
Nothing
Easter
but
song.
the
That'd be really.
blood.
That's so funny.
That's symbolic.
I don't know
like
what
it.
I would have done in that
Yeah.
scenario.
No, I think
It
you
was-
did the best thing that you could have possibly done.
Thank you. I did forget to dismiss the kids for kids discipleship though, so because I
They
was
were there
so
the whole time.
They were there during that song, yeah. But then afterwards, I was like, "Oh, kids, you can go."
Oh, it's fine. 3 minutes of their life that they
It's fine.
probably need to practice sitting
Yes.
still anyway.
Yeah, kids, kids.
Oh man, that's good.
Wait, so
Good.
when did Advent start?
December,
Oh,
because
lol.
like
First Sunday of
calendar and
December.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I feel
Yeah.
behind. I feel like this year in general flew by, and then it got to December 1st, and I was like, oh, fun. And now I'm like, what's happening? And then I feel like
Yeah.
so much is going on that I haven't even fully like thought about the fact that Christmas is like in 2 weeks, and I haven't gotten any gifts. I haven't even bought my flight to visit my brother and sister-in-law. I haven't done like anything, and I need to get on it. Because in my mind, it's not Christmas, but it very much is. So the fact that Advent is in full swing makes sense.
Yeah.
Haven't thought about it once.
I also haven't bought gifts, but I will say I'm a bit concerned about you not buying your ticket yet.
I'm not.
Yeah,
only
it's like
for the
2 weeks
fact,
away.
Only for the fact that I'm flying Frontier, and it's gonna be fine.
Did you see that Frontier and Spirit are currently in a lawsuit?
Oh, I didn't see it about Frontier. Really, them too?
Yeah.
So maybe do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to wait till I get paid next,
Oh.
Oh.
because I don't have $81.50 to spare.
I love you so much. I love you more than life itself.
Oh, you're
Yeah, I'm running on
crazy.
$3, so I'm gonna wait until the 15th, and then I'll be fine. The thing is,
Wow.
I buy memories.
You
and
buy
experiences.
memories.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're 80 and living off your retirement that is nothing, you'll have such great memories.
Hey, maybe I'll have an amazing retirement. Who knows?
Who knows? Honestly, that's the
I-
thing is it often just works out. Like there's random,
Correct.
like people have like land in the family that they sell and get their retirement from, or
Yeah,
you
you
know,
got
like
land?
weird things
Your
like that.
family have land, Kiera?
Does my family have land?
Do you
I'm
have
sure there's
land?
something in Canada
Something
somewhere.
in Canada. There is land for sure. Grandma Elsie
For sure.
had land, had acres on acres on a farm, and so I am sure there is some lineage there. Or I just marry rich, or I just find a really, really good job, and then it just kind of works itself out. So
That's
okay.
lame.
So if you're out there and you want to be my sugar, just kidding.
Okay,
I like that.
So again, we do have applications.
We
that are
do have applications
still
open.
accepting.
It's still accepting.
It's been foreverpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, I
Thank
know it's
you,
come
yeah.
forward, but like, I'm available.
Well, maybe it's time to segue into our topic for tonight.
Okay, hard left. I will
So
say.
we had a listener submit a topic suggestion,
Mhm.
which we love. If you have something that you're like, oh, I would love to hear their take on this or hear more about this, whatever, please DM us, email us, whatever. So my friend Maddie messaged us and said she would love to hear more about our decisions, experiences, and impacts of deciding to move away from our families and our hometowns. Like we've all kind of grew up different places and now are located in very different places from where we grew up. And so kind of fun to talk about why we did that, how our families even responded to that, whatever. So yeah,
Love
does
it.
somebody want to
Yeah.
go first?
I can go first.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
So if we go back to college, I didn't go to college in Iowa, which is where I'm originally from.
They're going to stop at I didn't go to college. And I was like, wait
Period.
wait a second. That's how we met.
Yeah.
That's how we have a
The
podcast.
end.
Yep.
So I decided to go to school in Kansas, and that's where I met these guys. So just so we're all on the same level, we all went to school in Kansas, and then we all went to Northwestern in Iowa together. And that was 5 hours from my home. So really it wasn't like an easy drive to just get home from where I'm from. And I remember people thought I was crazy for going to school 5 hours away from where I lived when we went to school in Iowa. And I was like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I think my time at Northwestern, which I've kind of talked about a little bit on here before, and you guys obviously know, was different. I think it was very formative in creating who I am today, but I wouldn't necessarily say I look back on it with immense fondness for a couple different reasons. But I think one of my biggest takeaways, obviously, I met some really great people, and I think I loved my professors, and I met people there that really helped me, I think, become more of an individual. I think at Heston, I was still kind of, I don't want to say sheltered, but like kind of sheltered. I was in a Mennonite bubble, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And going to a school that was not Mennonite helped me kind of just get away from things. And then I realized what was necessary and important for me and how I wanted to continue to like be as a woman, as Bryce and I got engaged, like how I wanted to be as a wife, and then how I eventually wanted to be as like a mom. And I just didn't really like who I was. Is that a good way of putting it? Does that make sense? What I'm even saying? I didn't know if I liked who I was when I was at Northwestern. I was kind of like,
yeah, what part
I think I
did
was
you not
kind of like in a I had a bad mood. I had a bad mood a lot. I feel like I was just like angry at everybody because I just was so upset that people didn't think about what else was going on in the world besides where they were. I think. So I think that I felt very like isolated and kind of like a circus freak a little bit walking around campus because I just didn't have the same background as a lot of people, and I looked different, and people just had so many questions.
Yeah.
Would you say you were homesick at that point?
No.
Did you miss home?
I'm not a homesick person. I think I was homesick for the feeling of being new to a place and people just accepting you for as you are and not asking you questions. Like when we got to Heston was so diverse, you guys, just for anyone who's listening. And it was a really small school. We had like 400 kids at our school, but it represented so many countries and so many kids from different
The
states.
international program there was kind of nuts.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
honestly, it was awesome to just
Yeah.
be surrounded by so many, like,
which is why, like,
Galed.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
go
it's like
ahead.
Galed from Surakarta, Indonesia.
Wow.
I know. I just remember.
I'm shocked
him
you remember
saying it.
that.
I like.
Prince Longo from the Congo.
Yes, exactly. Like we just had so many great people that just that were like experiencing America for the first time. So it was like that was like the type of enriching and loving environment I feel like I was coming from. And then I went to some place where they were like, "You're from 5 hours away," and I was like, "What do you mean? Like this is nothing compared to what some people do." And I think it was just kind of disappointing, maybe. I don't know. Again, I don't want to say that everyone was disappointing because there were some people there who largely impacted my life deeply, and they helped me work through the frustrations of what I was going through. And I think after I was gonna graduate, I knew that I just needed to get out. Like I just needed to like, I don't want to say like redefine myself, but I just needed to be in a new place where people didn't know me. And I crave that. So if you don't crave that, you probably look at any of us and think we're psychopaths. Because I would say in a sense we all kind of crave that. I dreamed to be the new kid at school. Like I loved the movies where they were like, "Oh, it's my senior year and I'm going to a new high school, Mom." I'm like, I want to be that. Like that was my dream. And so being new to a place is like, that is exciting to me. And that is, it just puts me on like a path of what can I do and what can I accomplish here and how can I make an impact of where I'm going. And so I think that was my biggest reason for leaving. It was just like I got to get out of here. I was just like, I get antsy sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I feel like I'm in a box, and I feel like I'm claustrophobic, and like I just need to go somewhere, and I just need to do something different, and I need to challenge myself, and I need to push myself, and just get out of my routine, not see the same people all the time, and like just go.
Yeah.
Now I do want to backtrack a little bit and say I love my family endlessly. You guys know I'm obsessed with my family. I love my family so much. Aunts, uncles, cousins, like we're very, very close family. But all of us have this sense of like, I got to get out of here. And none of us
Yeah.
live where we were raised. Like you ask any sister, nobody lives where they were raised. My mom has 4 siblings and a brother, or sorry, 4 sisters and a brother. And none of them live where they grew up. And even if it's in the same state, it's like not the same town. So it's just like we're all just kind of like a family of nomads. I don't know. Like and now that I moved to Oregon, and I really like where I am, but I know that I could also like someday have this like bug to be like, I'm supposed to go somewhere else. I'm supposed to do something else. But back to why I decided to leave. Ultimately, I just knew it was going to be good for me, but I also knew it was going to be good for Bryce, and I knew it was going to be good for us as a couple, because Bryce is a Midwest boy through and through. Like when I first met him, he hadn't been any further west than Colorado, and the furthest east we ever took him was to Florida, and that was the first time he had went to the beach. And I kind of wanted to fire hose him with new culture, because I was like, you need to see the world.
Yeah.
And I want to see the world. I feel like we need to go. And so I think you need to come with me. And I think this is where we need to go. And he was like, okay. So we moved to Oregon. We largely picked the area where we live because my sister lived here. And my mom was raised in Oregon. And I do have aunts, I should say aunt and uncle, that live in Oregon. My grandpa lives here and his wife. So I'm not like a complete stranger to this area. So that definitely helped. Would I be okay with moving someplace where I absolutely didn't know a soul? That would be a little bit harder for me. But I would still probably do it. But I think we chose to move here. We drove a big pickup truck and our one car that we had between the two of us, and we drove to Oregon with our moms, which is still really funny. So me, Mom, Kathy, Sherry, and Bryce. And
LOL.
and we got here, and we moved in with some people. We lived with them for a year before we really had our own space. And so that year was kind of a big test too, of like, did we want to do this? Like, we can still back out. You know what I mean? And we didn't have jobs. We didn't have a plan. Like, I look back and I'm like, you idiots. What were you freaking doing? But I think it was so good for us because we grew together as a couple without relying on mom and dad.
Yeah.
And I think so many, not even just couples, individual people fall entrapment to not becoming their own individual person or having confidence in themselves because they know they have a backup plan or they have people that they can rely on. And I like to put myself in positions where I don't have that. I'm probably just psycho a little bit. But I think it's so good for everybody to leave for a little bit. You don't have to leave forever. Like, you don't have to be like us or whatever. You can go for a little bit, but I think it's so important. You have to find who you are individually, how you handle things under pressure, how you handle being an adult, how you handle finances. How do you call the mechanic and get your car in? Like, how do you do anything for yourself? And that was, I think, a huge reason why I felt like it was necessary for us as a couple to figure out how to just do that on our own, but also just for myself personally. I just needed to be I needed to be pushed in a bigger way, and I needed people around me to push me spiritually, culturally. I like people to disagree with me, and I like people to push my boundaries and push against me, because then I'm like, okay, what do I believe? That's a thrill to me, which is probably weird, but
I think that's good.
that was probably our biggest reason. And then why we stayed is because we just have built really deep, nourishing relationships. And that wouldn't happen if you move somewhere and you're like, okay, well, where's all these people at that I'm supposed to change my life? And like, you have to put in work and effort and stuff.
Or
and,
like, where are all the people that are just like me?
yeah,
You know?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about that before. Like, making friends as an adult is really hard. And you have to put yourself out there. But we did the work right away. You know, like, you make friends at your job, and then maybe those people introduce you to other people, and then, or whatever. But like, it's not easy. But I enjoy the challenge, which is, yeah. I don't know. You might be thinking I'm psycho. Not you guys. You guys are also psycho, but the listeners.
I think it's good to hear that perspective, though.
But yeah. So I think that was the biggest thing for me. I probably rambled a little bit, but I think I just needed different. Yeah. So yeah, now we're in Oregon, and it's the best thing ever. And I will say the challenges behind it: missing out on birthday parties, missing out on Thanksgiving, Christmas, like all those holidays with family. Like, that's really hard. And I'm not going to sit here and say like, no, I can just persevere. I can push through. It's hard, especially when you first do it. And then it gets easier and easier over time. And then the times that you can go back and be with your family, it's more enjoyable almost than anything, because it's like you have this moment together. But not having my parents here when Mira's here, that kind of sucks. And having my siblings all together, and aunts and uncles. But there's a lot of good too. And you kind of make your own family. I didn't have any grandparents where I was raised. I had one aunt and an uncle and 3 cousins, and I have a huge family, but that's all I had. And we just made family with those around us. And so that kind of inspired my life growing up, and it's kind of what I want to make for my kids as well. So you can make your family anywhere. You just have to be not afraid.
Not afraid. I think that's cool. I probably have the most similar take, so maybe I'll interject with my thoughts, because a lot of what you're saying I feel like I relate to. However, I think the difference that I have with the both of you is my family is smaller and we're closer in age. So the both of you have had older siblings with kids. Like, your family like kind of like grew pretty fast when you were probably in school, which kind of just changes the dynamic of like, I think, the homesickness or the like missing part. I personally, I knew that I wanted to move away from my hometown. I enjoyed growing up there. It's really not even that I wanted to get out because I hated it. I just knew there was a world outside of Harrisonburg, Virginia that I wanted to see. And so when, like, even when Heston, came on the line, I was like, oh, Kansas. In my head, I was like, I do not want to live in small town Kansas. That feels so weird. But actually, okay, this is far away from home. I kind of am forced to be, like, kind of like what you said, Casey, of like the independent side. I kind of thrived off of that and realized that I am also maybe not super like I miss moments because I'm sentimental. However, I don't feel homesick very often. And I think for me, like, I love my family. It was just always the 5 of us, until recently, really, until my brother got married and had a kid. So like, I felt like I was used to the routine, and so me going away to Kansas and then Iowa felt just so different, and it felt like I finally was living this life that I'm like, "Oh, I can kind of do what I want to do," I guess. So me moving away from home and like in college felt right. And then honestly, afterwards, I literally was Googling like internships, East Coast, because I'm like, maybe I want to be closer to home. I don't know. Not even the sense of like, I just like, I'm craving being with my family, but I just like was like, well, maybe that's like essentially what the Lord has for me next. And when I found Elevation and got an internship, got hired, moved to Charlotte, I knew no one. I moved out here on a whim. Um, and I think that moving away from not only my hometown, moving into a city where I knew no one, I also wanted the like growth opportunity. Like in my mind, that's what it was. Like that's just what it was. I'm like, I want to be part of this church that seems to be really amazing, and I want to know what the impact is and everything. And I feel like living here now the past 6 years, I've been able to like make a community for myself. And granted, I'm the only one of us not married, no kids. I'm kind of living the single life in that regard, and I have for some time now. So I think my perspective is a little bit different, but I'm okay with being away from the comfort of that, because I don't me going home, especially if my parents lived in Virginia, I would feel like I'm traveling back in time, and I don't know how else to describe it. And hopefully that's not coming across a certain way. That's just genuinely how I feel. I feel like I'm going back to like 15-year-old Kiera, where like I know what to expect. I know the house that I'm at. I know the friends. I know the conversations I'm going to have with my grandparents. I know this situation. I know what youth group's going to feel like. And something in me just like feels like anxious. And that's like the best way that I can describe it.
I
And
totally
so
know what
for
you mean.
me, I want to run away from that feeling in a way. Like my Enneagram type as a 7 is like fleeing from those kinds of things, typically. Trying to work on that, but like the feeling of feeling anxious when something feels like too familiar is like hard to describe. But I do think that just in the last couple years, kind of building a life here has felt so good. Granted, I do feel like I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm like, well, I kind of want to shift. After 6 years, I'm like, I kind of want to change in my life. I kind of want to, I don't know if it's necessarily a move or it's just to do something different. Not sure. But I still feel like the impact of deciding to move away, I still enjoy. And, now with like a niece in the picture, and, even when my parents moved to Florida, it was like, okay, there's like changes in my family dynamic that like I want to know what it's like, traveling to Florida and visiting my parents, or like going up to Maryland and visiting my brother, sister in law, and niece. And that's kind of still new to me. And I think like I will, and maybe it's just like now having like a kid in the mix, it's like, oh, now I kind of see like how fast time really does fly, and maybe I will get the homesick feeling of like, oh wow, well, I'm gonna miss this aspect, and I'm not a very like missing kind of person. I don't know if that makes sense. So
I get it. I totally get
I
it.
think it'll just be like interesting. I'm kind of at a weird roadblock, to be honest. I've never really felt that way. I kind of moved away from home and was like really okay with it. Loved coming back and seeing family, visiting with friends. Like I enjoyed that, but I knew that, oh, after a couple of days, I'm good to go. Like after seeing the couple friends that I'm like I've kept up with, I've connected with, I'm okay to head back to my like other life, but because it feels like it's the life that I built in a way, and not the life that was just like handed to me. Hopefully that makes sense and doesn't come across as like not grateful. It's just
That last line totally resonates with me. I get it. Like, I don't like things handed to me on a silver platter. Like, I want to work for it. Not saying that, like, you're not working for it. If
right.
you, I just like, I think we like the grind of having to, like, figure out how to live a life.
Yeah. And I will say this too, with the caveat of growing up, it was really my immediate family, my occasional like cousins, and my grandparents lived 45 minutes away, so we'd see them every once in a while, but it didn't ever feel like it was like this big family gathering like I feel like a lot of my friends have, where like they're like all of their siblings, all of their cousins, maybe both sets of grandparents, like everyone lived in the same area, I could see how that would be like, oh wow, I don't know if I want to really go somewhere because it's like everyone I love is here. For me, it just looked different growing up. Now, my dad grew up that way in Canada where like all of his siblings, like I have a whole family, half of the family that's up there. And every time I go up there, I'm like, oh, I could, like, I get the idea of being like, oh, we're going to do like Sunday dinner together and we're going to do this together. And for this birthday, like all 50 of us are going to come around the campfire and do the blah, blah, like I can see that for sure. However, I just never had that. So I think I always wanted like a big, I don't even know what the right phrasing is. I was like craved the like big family, the big like, oh, everyone's getting together, everyone's doing this thing, where it always felt like, okay, it's the five of us or it's the whatever of us. So I think like that's the part where like I loved moments of that for sure. But when I went to college and I was like doing my own thing, I realized, oh wow, maybe I actually really do enjoy this side of life more than I thought because I didn't really have it before.
So
So
you finally had that like, sorry, wrong side. You finally had that like community, that like big happy family almost.
yeah,
That you like craved growing up. Not that your family didn't provide that, but it was like a different
right.
level of like, yeah, community and like comfort. Maybe.
Yeah.
Does that resonate?
Yeah, maybe. And it's, again, it's like so hard because it's like I'm even torn saying that because it's like I I think just because of my natural personality, I never really wanted to be bound by anything in general. And maybe that was just even bound by the number of people in my family. Maybe it was just
Yeah.
bound by the Mennonite world. I don't know. I always wanted to like go and do and be not even better, just bigger. And like I think I'm realizing now it's like it's not always about like the more and the bigger. I think it is just truly like life is what you make it. So like it's hard when it's like that is how I felt. I was like I just want something else and to see what that life is like. And I mean, I think to your point, it is like I kind of made my own community. I felt like I had like a lot of friends and I had really amazing friends in high school. There were just like not a lot of us because we went to like a small school and we did like the same things together. So I feel like when we went to college, it was like, oh wow, there's so many people, there's so many like stories to learn. It just felt like overwhelming in a cool way because I never had that. I don't know if that makes sense, but I will say to Northwestern going there, I also felt like an alien a little bit in that regard. And that was probably one of the first times I really felt like missing the safetiness of home. And my parents will even say, and I'm sure they're listening, and they probably remember when they were like driving away when they dropped me off junior. I literally was like, oh, I feel weird being here. And I felt weird because you were in soccer, Mary was in soccer, Case was in volleyball. Sure, I had choir, but I was like, what thing do I have? And I felt like I was riding this high at Heston and I was coming down off of it. And I felt very isolated for the first time probably ever, which was really good for me to experience that on so many levels. But I think that time was a time where I'm like, oh, I'm away from home. I have you guys. I feel like I have people, but yet, oh wow, I actually am going to be really sad when my parents leave. And I was, and I called them. I'm like, I don't even know why. I'm like, I don't know why I feel this way. Again, I'm like, I'm not really a homesick person, but for the first time, I'm feeling that way. And I think it's like that. I didn't know how to act in an environment as like an upperclassman where like I just come from like growing my community to be thrown into like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. And that really grew me in a lot of ways, made me realize I'm like, you're not in the best way, like you're not the hot shit that you thought you thought you were. But like that was good for me to realize like people don't know you and you have to like kind of like rebuild and start over. And I think that's just a lot of life is like different seasons of life. Like you have to rebuild, and sure, like making friends is hard. Sometimes you have to rebuild. Sometimes you have to go back to like the like childlike, oh, like even a friend that recently we were talking with, I met her at a concert and I went alone and we just started talking. She like asked me a question. Turns out she's a Christian. She goes to this church that my friend leads worship at. And we're like really close friends to this day. And so I'm like, sometimes it's like annoying the beginnings, but I'm realizing I'm like, that does make an impact in your life. So like, and it can happen whether you feel like you're called to stay in your hometown or not. I just personally feel like at the time I wanted to do something different. Again, it's not better, not worse. It's just different. And I'm glad that I did because it did lead me to North Carolina, after a slew of things. But here I am now and I'm really grateful. So,
Yeah.
Mary, what about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say growing up, I was always like a homebody. Like, I just wanted to be home. I wanted to be on my couch or in my bed with my family, with my people, where I felt like safe and comfortable. Even like on vacation, I remember being excited to like get home, you know? And so, which is why it was so crazy that I was the one that went to school in Kansas.
You were the one
Like
to literally move
20
across
some
the
hours away.
country.
Yeah. But I remember I was deciding where to go. My senior year, I was so sad about graduating and leaving because I was so comfortable. I had finally like growing up, I just didn't have like I don't know how to say this. I didn't really have great I didn't really have friends until like my freshman year of high school was when I really like found a group of friends. And so I felt like I loved high school and it was awesome. And then it was like, oh, I have to leave these people? Like I just got comfy here, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just made these friends and I feel like I'm at a place where I am happy with how my life is going and now I have to graduate and do something and I have no idea what that is. So anyways, a lot of ideas were thrown around and I remember I was deciding between a college in Tennessee. Have I even told you guys that?
No, what the frick?
No.
So I was looking into Lee University in Tennessee because there was another gal from our area who went there. One of my sister's friends had gone there and so I heard about it from her. And then Heston. And I remember, so my sister's husband actually went to Heston and had a really, really terrible experience there. He
do
did
remember.
not like it at all. And I remember my sister was very adamant of like, do not go to Heston. Like, and she was kind of playing the like, if you're going to go somewhere, you want to go somewhere like cool where people are like, oh my gosh, you go.
Like
There-
Goshen College.
LOL. So that honestly is half of why I was looking into that other university in Tennessee because I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool and different, which
Edgy.
I'm just so different. But anyways, I did end up going to Heston and yeah, I was super super homesick like the first, I would say, all of September. I didn't realize that homesickness was actual sickness. Like I
Aw.
felt physically ill
Yeah.
because I was so like, I remember my parents driving away and they even talk about this of like seeing me disappear in the rear view mirror and being like, man, is she going to be okay? Because I just was so like, what the heck? Like, why am I here? What am I doing? I don't know anyone. I know there was a guy in my class, Austin, who he also went to Heston. And then there was a guy in the grade above me. So I did know a couple people there. But no girls. Like I didn't know my roommate. I didn't know my wing mates. So anyways, it wasn't until I like met you guys that I finally felt like, oh yeah, I belong here, you know. And
When
I
did
think
we meet? Like officially, what month was it?
oh, it was probably the end of September.
Was
I was
it?
gonna say,
think
it wasn't that far
my memory
into it.
Yeah.
from like on my phone from that trip to Walmart, Bodies and
Yes,
First
that was
trip to Walmart.
that was a pivotal moment.
That was a pivotal. That was the first time I like came along with you guys on like a rendezvous.
Yeah.
We needed
and that
your
was
car.
like
We needed
September.
your car.
I didn't have
actually
a car.
we just
Wait, whose car was it?
I think it was Austin's actually.
Oh,
I think
Oh.
or
I
no,
was gonna say,
Steven's.
it
I
wasn't my
borrowed
car.
Steven's car. That's
wait,
what it
we
was.
weren't allowed to have cars, were we?
Yes, we were.
Freshman
Because
year?
Austin had a car. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We just didn't because we lived crazy far away. You know.
Correct. Yep.
So yeah, anyways, And then transferring to Northwestern was a little bit different for me. I felt like I did find a really good community there. I feel like Northwestern was just so different. We like both of you guys said, we just like didn't fit the mold of the standard student who went to Northwestern. A lot of people who go to Northwestern are from the area. It is very abnormal for someone from Pennsylvania, from Virginia, even from
it was like so
Iowa
cool
City,
when we
Kelowna.
said that where we were from, and they're like,
Yes,
no
they're like-
way.
They're like, why are you here? And
Yeah.
not necessarily trying to be rude, but in
like
if
genuinely couldn't
genuinely
wrap their brain
were
around
wondering.
that
And I
people do
think
that.
part of it was a little bit like, why this school? Like, why you could go anywhere? Why did you choose to come here? You know, of all places.
Right.
But yeah, regardless, it did feel very like other, even still, you know. But I think playing soccer, I found I just made some really, really great friends on that team that I'm still friends with today. I think my biggest thing in college, and it's something that I still think about, is like I am so different than who I was in like high school. Like every aspect of growing of post high school has changed me so much. But whenever I am with a group of people, I revert back to who I was. So they're like, when I go home with my family, I almost revert back to like the Meredith that I was growing up. Or
Yeah.
and I think that's we've talked about this before, where like I had different friend groups kind of in college and kept those friend groups very separate. And I think it was because I know what part I play in each friend group. And if those friend groups collide, they'll find out that I'm a fraud.
Like you're a different version of yourself in each?
Yes. Like I know what role I play in our friendship. I know what role I play in this other friend group. I know what role I play when I'm at home. And it's not necessarily that any of those are like an inauthentic me, but it's just how I know to like fit into the group, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like because I didn't really have great friends until I was like a high schooler, I like learned this lesson of like, you have to be a certain way for people to like you. And so I think I've learned how to just like chameleon and mold into these different friend groups and these different situations. And that's something that I still think about, of like, am I doing this because I want to do this, or because I know these people want me to do this? Or even with like making like fashion choices, it's like, do I actually like this shirt, or do I think that other people will like if I wear this shirt? Like that type of thing. It's all about, I just want approval so badly. I want people to like me. I want people to be like, want to be around me. So I want to like do what it takes for that to happen. And I think that has just caused me to show up differently in different friend groups, which I think is why I've kept friend groups separate. And I regret that. Like, obviously, I wish I would have mixed.
Which is funny because the joke is just at Meredith's wedding, we know her other friends.
We know of them. We haven't had significant time together. So if you're listening right now,
we just, and it's funny because
in fact,
like,
Maddie,
we
who
love them,
who submitted this, is like one of the girls who's on the soccer team.
Right.
And we had a blast with your other friend group. And we all jokingly were like, where's Meredith been hiding, you guys? We're like, let's leave her and let's go all hang out together. But I remember that. I mean, even at Heston, you always had what do we call them? Like your secret friends. They're not like secrets, but they're more just, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, it was when I started playing soccer there too. I became friends with Michaela and Chief and some of those other like soccer players. And again, just like didn't think about like, hey, come hang out with us in oh my gosh, what was your mod called? 3EA?
3EA.
Oh my gosh.
Come hang out in 3EA with the girls,
wow, 3EA. That's a blast from the past.
Why did that sound wrong coming out of my mouth?
I don't know, but it is what,
3EA, but that's what it was, right?
2A1.
Oh, 2A. Whoop.
Who was
That was the
that?
guys.
That was
Bryce's?
Bryce.
Oh,
That was
Bryce
Bryce
and
and
okay.
Keegan.
Keegan's. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Keegan, if you're listening, hey.
Hey.
Keegan, if you're
What's up?
listening.
What's up? But yeah, anyways, so then after graduated, and I just applied for every single teacher job that I could find. Like,
You did.
if it was
You
in the
did.
state of Iowa, if it was in the state of Iowa and it was a preschool job, I applied to it. I applied to 40 different positions, had 3 interviews and 1 job offer. And that job offer was in Okoboji, which is like an hour away from Northwestern, an hour and a half maybe. And so I moved there then and knew absolutely no freaking body and was super lonely. Like, I don't think I've ever been that lonely in my whole entire life. I remember thinking, like, at the time, I remember thinking, someday I'm going to look back on this time as super precious and like as a time where I really built my relationship with the Lord, because literally I had no one else except the Lord. Like, I had no other companion. I had no one to talk to other than like prayer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It
Can
was
I
like,
interrupt and ask you a question
yes,
really
yes.
fast? I
Mhm.
remember that year was hell for you. It was
Yeah.
terrible. Why did you stay?
Well, I had a contract. So I
Right,
couldn't,
but
I had to stay for
after
the school year.
but after the school year, why didn't you
I
pack up
did move.
everything and I know, but go home? Why didn't you
Well, 'cause
go home?
I started dating Noah.
Oh,
Oh,
dang. That's
Yes.
when you started dating Noah?
So Noah and I, we started dating actually in November of that year. So it was like that fall really was the worst of it. So I started dating Noah, and he was still at Northwestern. He's from Orange City, the town Northwestern is in, so he lived here. So I would go back on weekends and see him or see some friends that were still at Northwestern. But yeah, and so then after that year, I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'm moving closer there because not only just Noah's there, but I have friends there, like whatever. So I always say I was not moving for a boy. It was a little bit moving for a boy. But also for my
For
like
sure it was moving for a boy.
sanity, I
yeah.
could not live there anymore. So anyways, but yeah, I would say Noah and I talk now about like what would it be like to move back to Pennsylvania, and it's not out of the question. Obviously, my brother and my sister, they both have kids. I have 7 nieces and nephews back, and they all live in the same town. Like, and it sucks to see
Yeah.
like go on Facebook and like, oh, they were all together for Thanksgiving and my mom made this beautiful meal and she had like place cards at all
Yeah.
the tables, and
I know I
or
saw
at-
that, to be honest.
like yeah, like my family is really close and they do really, really sweet traditions, and it sucks to miss those.
Yeah.
And I grew up with a big family. I grew up with a big extended family. My cousins who are my age lived like back the field lane. So like when we had days off school, we were riding the 4-wheeler through the field and
Back
hanging
the
out
field
and
lane. I want to hear that statement for a second. Back
Yeah.
the field lane.
The field lane.
so there was a lane in between like the fields that made like a little like zigzag.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So-
feel like I'm watching like a movie and kids are running through and running their hands through like wheat.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
And like in the winter, we would attach a sled to the 4-wheeler and go through the field, and you would just
Classic.
pray that a corn stalk didn't go up your butthole.
Right.
You know,
Oh, okay.
honestly, it was kind of a gamble.
I actually know what you mean.
You know,
I actually
like
know what
we
you
ripped
mean.
holes in sleds.
Oh, and sleds, shred
Yes.
them.
Totally. So anyways, and I want Lainey to grow up with that, like with the big family. And Noah's
Yeah.
family's awesome, but the only family that lives here is his mom and his dad. His sisters don't live here. He does not really have a huge extended family, so we know if Lainey were to have that, it would be my family. So we do talk about that, but we both have jobs here that we love, and we have such like great friends here that we love that we consider family. And our friends here were like all finally entering the same like stage of life, like married and young kids, which is kind of nice, you know, to have friends in that same stage that get like, hey, it's 7:00 and I have to go, and like you don't think I'm lame for it because you get it. You know that like it's bedtime or whatever. So anyways, but yeah, I do feel we go home to Pennsylvania twice a year. We try to go back. We always go back for Christmas or for New Year's actually. And then we try to go back once in the summer, but I do feel bad. I talked about this with my sister last time of like how do I come home and not have everyone like drop everything Meredith's home? Like not make it feel like do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to be like center of attention, Meredith's home, everyone drop everything for this week because we're going to be together every single night. Like I don't.
Is that how it feels?
See, I don't relate because I want them to feel that way.
Well, I don't want them to feel that way because I think there are I don't want them to feel that way. I feel bad because they have lives and they have stuff to do. Like it's not, I don't know. It's not all about us. It's not. So anyways, I don't know. I and maybe that's a me thing. Maybe I just need to talk about that with them a little bit more, but yeah. So
like, it's guilty, like guilt.
I feel guilty and I feel a little bit of like, sorry.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of constantly when I'm home too, like, so when you move in, like, it would be so nice if you were here and you didn't, like, we could do this all the time.
Help.
It's
right.
It is a little guilt trippy almost. And I know like it is very well intended. And I know that some of them are going to hear this and I don't want them to feel bad, you know, like I know it comes from a place of love and I would love if I lived closer, but I also love our life here. And like, it would be it's a huge decision to drop everything here and move back too. So,
yeah.
So there is just always a little part of us that is a little heartbroken of like, no matter where we are, we're going to be away from people that we really, really love.
Yeah.
And we know in either place, our family is going to have a great life. Our family is going to have people who love them and support them. It just is whether it's family or built family.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's kind of what my moving away from home has been like.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm glad that we kind of dissected that. I know. Are we okay?
Check in. Are we good?
Check in. Are we okay? Now I'm like contemplating my whole life.
I know. Like,
no,
let's all move again. Where should
let's
I go?
all buy a plot of land in Orlando and have a family commune together.
There we go. See, I think it's like
into a family commune idea.
I mean, Casey's churning butter over there, so of course she's into that.
Yeah.
No, you know, wow, I totally lost my train of thought, but it's gonna come back. Okay. It's gonna come back in like 2 seconds.
It felt like we were really going somewhere.
We were really going somewhere, and now okay, it's back.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway is we do have 3 different unique perspectives. The 2 of you are maybe more aligned with just like, I feel like when you have a kid, the perspectives probably are changing and everything. Definitely. So you're kind of in that new phase, which is also exciting because now there's someone else to like think about, you know what I mean? Whereas maybe for me it's just like, okay, is it like a career shift? Is it a get up and move somewhere random and start over shift because I can? Like, what does that really realistically look like? But at the end of the day, I am glad that like we have the option to do that, and like we're all 3 away from our family and we have built a life here. And yes, like maybe you have like some family and Noah's family there, but like you met your husband in that area and stayed there. You and Bryce moved to a new spot. I'm doing my thing. It's just like cool to see like you can have different paths for your life, and you really are in charge of your own life. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
To think about like you can do whatever you want.
Free will. You absolutely have it. I think sometimes we bound ourselves to things because we just don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
You do like
it's scary.
Or it's scary 100%. Like if you want to do something, you have to do it scared. And sometimes you don't have all the loose ends tied up.
Right.
And you have to kind of be okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then maybe it's not for you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. 'Cause I would say Bryce probably falls more in Mare's category.
Mm.
He's so homebody and he's so comfortable. And I push that poor man every day to be wildly uncomfortable. And so I don't know, it depends, you know, how you partner up in life and what direction you go. But I think that it's so good for you. And notice in all of our stories, we're all like, we've learned. There's moments that we learned things, even though we were like, this sucks, you know, like
Right.
there's still really good things that come out of it. And the beautiful thing about it, which brings us back to this podcast, is that we were there for each other the whole time, even though we weren't physically there, which was the first time in 4 years that we literally weren't together constantly.
Yeah.
Which
sucked.
That's
hardcore. Part of why it sucked. Yeah.
Yeah. We continued to stay so consistent and present in each other's lives, seeing each other whenever we could, you know, taking those trips or whatever, and checking in with each other, and that helps so much. Like if you move and you don't have a support system where you move, but you also don't have a support system from where you came from,
Yeah.
that's no bueno. That's not
no
good.
bueno.
So I don't think I could have done this move without support, like from all fronts, family, you guys. Like you can't. I mean, you can, but like it just sounds really, really hard.
Yeah. I love that. I think too, for me, even the decision to go to Heston, my parents were like, hey, I mean, both of them moved really far from home to go to school, and that's how they met. My mom from Florida to Virginia, my dad from Western Canada to Virginia. So they both understood the like impact that it has to do something new and go away. So I think when I was like, this is what I want to do, you know, I was the next in line. My older sister stayed in our hometown for school, and she had a great experience. And then when I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do, I think they were like, okay, cool. Like there was no like, are you sure you want to do that? Is that right? Of course, there was some like logistical, like financial things, you know, we kind of had to figure out. But like all in all, it was like, oh, you want to do this thing and you want to go figure it out for yourself. It was very much of a support of like going and doing it. So I think that like, even though I'm sure like for them, it's like, oh, like right now, none of their kids live close to them because my sister recently moved back to Virginia. That also might be like hard. So it's like interesting navigating like, okay, different seasons and like them being like there enjoying life. But, you know, people like travel, like distance is hard no matter what. And I think you can make it work for like the people obviously that you love, especially family. And it helps for me that my parents live in a great spot like Florida. Like literally every time I'm like, oh, I'm going to visit them for Thanksgiving, they're like, oh, you're going home? And I have to be like, not really home, but they live in Florida now and blah, blah, blah. But they're like, oh, Florida. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm going to go to the 80
home is
degrees.
wherever I'm with you. So
Yeah. Honestly, true.
home is where the heart is.
Home is where I knew you were going to say that. But
Virginia's for lovers.
Oh, I know. I kind of do sometimes miss Virginia, which is weird.
Because you're a lover.
Because I'm a lover, not a hater.
Yeah.
Lover, not a fighter.
I know. But I'm glad where life took us. Like,
oh, yeah.
Look at us. Look at us doing our thing.
I would say we're each thriving.
Oh,
I would say so too.
I'm doing great.
Which is great. This is a very, very, very cheesy quote, but I heard it the other day and I started crying because it was just super true.
Oh,
boy, okay.
Ball.
I am kind of a cheese ball. It said, like, look around. You might just be in the middle of what you prayed for. Like, you might just
cute, yeah.
have everything that
like
you
that.
prayed for. And, like, that's it. Like, I prayed and for years for, like, Noah and I to get married, to have a beautiful baby, to be a worship leader, have a house, have it literally down to the exact breed of dog that we always talked about getting, you know? Like, yeah, thriving.
Yeah.
That's actually really cute. Like,
and I always
you have
prayed
kids now.
in high school to have like really, really solid group of friends. So I have one friend, Naomi, ride or die, you know? But I was like, I wish I had like a group. Like I want to feel like I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
And Then I met you guys.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm not actually crying. Don't worry.
Don't even cry.
But
I
it
was worried.
What'd you say?
She was worried that I was gonna cry
Oh.
Yeah, that
sorry,
was a
I missed
joke.
that. Okay, sorry.
So
I didn't really hear it, and then it was
because
silent.
I'm cold-hearted.
So I was like,
That's why.
I
That's the
missed
joke.
something.
Because I'm
Yeah.
cold-hearted and I don't cry.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm really grateful that
Yeah.
our paths did lead far away from home to each other.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Mm-hmm.
because we wouldn't be here on this podcast without it. And also,
We
that was
wouldn't be.
No, and that was also a great question to ask, Maddie. So
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you
Maddie.
for
Yeah, thanks, Maddie.
asking that.
Maybe we didn't even answer it right. I don't know. Did we?
I don't
Don't
know.
Let us know.
I don't know. I just started
Well,
talking. I
maybe
didn't know
don't
where I
let us
was
know.
going. We'll
Well, I
talk-
have a
maybe let
really
us know
fun
privately.
Mayor brings down the mood
Okay, yay.
that I fear could take some time,
Ooh, I
Oh.
like time. I
but
like
it's
time.
fun. Okay. So I did a deep dive last week on each of our Facebook
no
feeds,
No,
I don't even want to know.
and I'm going to read
No, you're
our old
evil.
statuses, and we have to guess whose it was.
No, wait, that's actually so funny.
That is so funny. I just wish this was happening to anyone but me.
Okay,
I'm scared.
we're gonna
Oh my
start off strong. Are you
gosh.
ready?
Oh.
So
That was probably
you guys
mine.
have to
I don't
guess
even
whose
want-
it is. Okay.
Okay. Are
Oh,
you
and-
involved or is it just us?
Yes, me too. Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. OMW is now the new OMG. O-O-M-my-W word. Ha ha.
That was me.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's Casey.
That's me. I know the story behind that one actually.
What is
Okay.
it?
So I played club volleyball growing up, and I went to the bigger city to go play it. And we were on teams with like girls from like all over, so you didn't really ever know anyone. And so I didn't say, "Oh my god," I always said, "Oh my word," and I still to this day still say, "Oh my
You
word."
really do. You're an
Like,
oh
you
my
do.
word girl.
I'm an oh my word girl until I'm dead. And so I said, "Oh my word." And these girls on my volleyball team were like, "What are you saying?" They were laughing at me. And I was like, "Oh my word. It's a new
Oh
OMG."
my word. Yeah.
So I went home after volleyball practice and I made that my my Facebook
Please.
status.
yeah. So they would know, of course.
So they would know,
Just so
and
they
I
would
could
know.
spread the word. So I'm sure if you looked at the comments,
You're
and
spreading
stuff,
the gospel.
They're probably like laughing at me and stuff. But yeah, OMW guys,
OMW.
Love it.
that is
Love it.
so funny.
That's
Okay.
cute.
Love it.
Case. Classic
Thanks.
Casey.
Thanks.
All right. This one gets me. Okay. This one's a quote. To love someone is to see the face of God, from Les Mis, spelled
Oh.
M-I-Z. But don't worry, in the comments, this person corrected M-I-S.
Why do I know
Mare.
that's me? That's
Mare.
Oh. No, I think that's me.
Is it you? Is it you? You did not correct yourself in the comments.
did in the
Kiara.
I corrected myself.
Instead
in
of
the
just like
comments.
deleting it and
Wait.
reposting it.
No,
Oh, I was gonna say it's probably before you could edit.
I don't even think I knew how to do that.
Just one comment
Oh
on it
my
and
gosh.
it's her. Miss.
Wait, the only comment is me correcting myself. How
Yep.
many likes did that get?
It was liked by 22 people, I will say.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's 22 deranged people out there. Wait, can you also tell us what years you were posted?
Yes.
Do you remember?
So yours
gosh.
was
Wait, can I-
2011.
Okay.
Mine was
And
2000.
Kiara, Casey's was 2011. Kiara,
wait.
what do you think yours was?
I want to guess because we did the
Well,
Les
think about-
Mis
Okay.
like musical one year. So I bet you it was after that. And I want to say that was either 8th or 9th grade.
No, this was way later. I think it was when the
Oh, it
movie
was
came
later.
out. It's
Oh,
20
shoot. Then I don't know.
2013.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
dang.
embarrassing.
Unfortunately,
Kiara,
a
that's
little
a year
old.
before we
Shut
graduated high school.
Shush.
Unfortunately, a little bit
Kiara.
old.
Shush.
Wait, that's embarrassing.
Okay.
Can you not?
I fear that this one is going to be a dead giveaway. But
Okay.
we'll see.
Let's hear.
Quiero mi teléfono celular.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually so funny. Oh my god.
I want my phone because I was a chronic phone loser.
Okay.
Like
Oh, yeah.
literally I would leave my phone at people's houses. It would be like I would lose my phone in like the couch cushions. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yep. That is me today. So perfect.
And so I wrote it and I wanted to do it in Spanish because I thought I was being
Oh my gosh, you thought you were so
awesome
cool.
and
Oh,
really
for
cool.
sure.
Okay, here's next one. This is from 2010.
okay.
I got sand in my hone button. If you can't tell which one it is, let me hell you out. I got pepperoni pizza last night.
That has
I wanna say that's
written
you.
all
Nope.
over it.
Unfortunately, that was me.
I was gonna say that
My
misspelling
P-
sounds like
The
me,
P
but
button got stuck, and so it wouldn't work.
oh my gosh.
So
And
I'll
you
read
wrote
it
that
again.
whole
That's
thing.
so
knowing
funny
that.
because I was like imagining a smartphone.
I got sand
I'm
in
like,
my
what do you
hone
mean?
button. Yeah,
Oh,
phone.
okay.
Oh.
phone button.
Okay.
Let me hell you out. No P.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I bet you thought you were really doing something when you didn't put the P on help.
You're like,
Yeah.
finally, I can curse.
Hell
I
you
can
out.
say hell.
I got pepperoni pizza last night.
Aroni.
Funny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, what year
next.
was that? Did you have
2010.
Wait, what year was
Okay.
my
Spanish one?
mi teléfono celular?
It was pretty early. Oh no, 2012.
Yikes. Okay.
2012. Okay, all around the same time frame.
You're
Ish.
2013.
Okay, well, let's not talk
Okay.
about that one.
Ready for this one? Whoever knew that turning on and off hotel lights could be so confusing?
Kiera.
Kiara. Big time.
Oh. What?
Why?
Also-
Kiera.
Also,
I have
she
questions
commented
as well.
underneath it. There was
Oh,
2
gosh.
comments, but the only one that shows up is hers, and it says, "Yeah, for serious." For serious is one word.
Oh, I used to be obsessed with saying for serious.
For serious.
As in like one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, for serious.
For serious.
Or
Dot,
se-
dot, dot.
Wow. I said that.
Wait, what year?
2011.
What year and what hotel?
July
Because
2011.
what?
It was probably for your choir competitions.
Oh gosh, probably my childhood choir.
Probably.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Okay, next one. What I wouldn't do to be in Tennessee right now.
Mayor?
Yeah, it's got to be you, Mayor.
I feel
Yeah.
like you wouldn't say that, Casey.
And I looked
No,
at the
I
comments underneath it. Never. Also, I had never once been to Tennessee.
What the heck?
And so the comments were like, "What's in Tennessee?" And I commented, "Nothing. I just would like to be there."
I'm
You're weird.
actually crying. Mayor
Wait,
says
wait, what
I've
year?
never been in my life.
2011.
Wait, can you please say the quote again?
What I wouldn't do to be in Tennessee right now.
But
Never
you've
been.
literally never been.
I'm gonna start saying that as one of my bits. Like what
what
I
I
wouldn't do to be in
what
like
I wouldn't
What
do.
I wouldn't do to be in
blank
Tennessee
now.
right
That's
now.
hilarious.
That's really funny.
All right, next one.
For serious.
I guess I'm
Shush.
still hungry for more Hunger Games. Round 2, baby.
That was me.
I was gonna
Still-
say
Because I
wasn't
told
me.
you I went to Hunger Games like multiple times.
Still
I was
hungry for
really
more
into
Hunger
it.
Games. I think that's
Hungry
funny.
for Hunger
Gross. Why'd I
Games.
say
No,
that?
that's really
Ugh.
gross.
No, it's so cute.
Hungry
Someone
for
else
more
commented
Hunger Games.
underneath it, same. So you're not the only one.
Was it
A whopping
Ainsley
2 likes.
or was it Naomi?
No, let me see. Jerome Peterschmidt.
Oh, Piram.
Piram.
Federschmidt?
Piram Peterschmidt.
Okay.
Piram Peterschmidt. Love it.
Piram's great. we
Also,
went to homecoming
this is-
together freshman year.
This is I can't read this one because it's a picture, but what high school friend group didn't take pictures like this at Walmart?
Oh, for sure.
Like I think we all
That's-
probably have pictures like this. It's with like Halloween masks on.
Why
It
was
says-
Walmart at
it
11
says,
p.m.
Got
like
our makeup
crack?
done.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Walmart at 11 p.m. hit different when you were
Oh,
in high
it hit
school.
different.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
All right, next one. I have officially run out of ideas to put in my status. Sad face.
That's me. It is, isn't it? It's
It's
me,
Casey.
isn't it?
Dang. You
And
really
you're-
remember yours.
Oh, it
Well, I
wasn't your
know.
mom.
It's
Often Kathy Miller comments on yours, who I'm guessing is Kyle's mom,
correct.
right? And she commented on this. Come on, Casey, be creative.
Come on, Casey, be creative. Not her calling you out.
Why
Oh.
did I do distinctly remember as a kid coming home after school and being like, I have to come up with a Facebook status. I have to come up with a Facebook
Aw.
status. Like,
Well, that was
and it's
you
gotta
come home
be
from,
good.
from school and you immediately get on your desktop computer.
100%.
Yes.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
100%.
Okay, 2010. This one.
Okay.
Day 1 of No Chocolate Month.
Meredith.
You bet your bottom dollar.
I'm
But-
gonna say me. Oh, okay.
It was me. But comment
guess
underneath
me.
it from me. I just realized that I had. Listen to this. I just realized that I had chocolate
Oh,
chip
gosh.
cookie dough ice cream yesterday, but that chocolate isn't real. I think it's
okay.
imitation.
What are you saying?
In like the 8th grade, this chocolate
Also,
is
there were like
imitation.
20 comments on this. I did
Are
not
you
go and look through all
serious?
of them.
Wow.
My gosh.
But
what a
That's
hot
kinda impressive.
topic.
yeah. Okay, next one.
Okay.
It's all love tonight. When we step across the line, we can sail across the sea to a city with one king, a city on
Oh.
our knees.
I love Toby Mac. That was probably me.
My gosh.
I used to
You
be
had me-
obsessed.
You had
with
me in that
Toby
first
Mac.
line. I
No,
was
me too.
confused
Me
a
too.
little
I was
bit.
a little confused in the city on our knees. I was like, oh yeah. I was
A
a
city
big
with
quote
one
girly.
king, a city. I honestly, I also
Big.
was a.
Wait,
uh-huh.
Can you
music lyric.
please? Was there like notations around it? Did she decorate it?
It was.
Is
It was.
in-
Just paragraph. Like
Oh,
each
just
line.
paragraph.
Like return.
Yeah.
Return.
Yeah,
Yes,
return,
yes,
return,
yes,
return,
return, if you will.
Return,
Yes.
Oh,
return,
that's
return,
so
Okay.
funny.
Pork burgers, ice cream, pizza. Repeat.
Me.
Yeah.
It's me.
What even
Gosh.
is that? Pork burgers.
Pork
ice cream.
burgers in Iowa is a really big thing
Oh.
because there's a lot of pork.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Hence
assuming
pork burgers.
Right, hence the pork burger. I'm assuming we had ice cream from Yachty's, which I love ice cream. What else? And repeat? What
Pizza.
else? Pizza? I'm
Pizza
having
and
pork
repeat.
burgers and pizza and an
Yes,
ice
those you
cream
are.
and I'm repeating?
Yep.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Chunky?
Victoria
Mhm.
commented underneath it. More like repeat, 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 then more ice cream.
repeat.
That's my
Which I
cousin.
thought was cute.
That was funny. Good job, Victoria. That actually made my status funnier.
Yes. Okay.
She helped you out.
This one is just absolute gold. So this is where you would pretend that your name is part of the status.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So this says, is a freshman, yo.
Mayor.
Freshman is all caps also.
Honestly, it could be any one of us. I don't feel like it's Kiera.
The yo
I don't
It's
think
definitely
the
not
yo
Kiara.
isn't
The
me.
yo is
so
feeling
maybe
more
it's
like
Casey.
me. Gosh,
It's gonna-
how many
it's gonna-
statuses did
it's
I
going to
make?
go ahead and be Casey. Yes.
Why am
Yeah.
I doing so many statuses? Oh, Kiera, post more. Jeez.
No,
Kiara
sorry.
Postmark.
All I'm gonna post is Toby Mac lyrics and Francesca Battistelli, probably.
Honestly,
Francesca
Kiera was too busy
Battistelli.
writing on everyone's wall. She probably didn't do any
Oh,
statuses.
actually,
no, you know what?
yeah.
I was busy doing poking people, having poking wars.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was doing. Oh,
Is a
gosh.
freshman yo? Ew. I'm
Okay,
gonna punch
ready
my
for the next
freshman
one?
self.
Just one
Yeah.
word. Blueberry. Smiley face.
You, Mayor. That's
Nope.
you. Kiera?
Is it me?
Kiara. I want to say
Can
maybe
you-
you were trying to quote. Here, this is what it looks like. Maybe you were trying to
Oh.
quote
I
the
can't see.
like
Is there any comments or who liked it? Who liked
Emily
it?
Kaufman. Are you trying to do the muffin video?
Or do you guys remember there was this time on Facebook where all the girls were supposed to comment what color bra they were wearing? Does that spark any sort of memory
No.
in your brain?
No.
So it was like
Interesting.
girls were sending like that
No, as a
spam
Christian,
message to
so.
each girls were sending like those spam messages to each other and like post this as your status. Let's make all the boys confused.
I like that a lot, though.
Oh. I mean, maybe I was just trying to make the boys confused. I will say, I'm shocked that Emily liked it because if my friend Rebecca would have liked it, it would have made sense because this is putting her on blast and she's going to die me saying this. But like, she had just like the perfect butt and we would always just say it's like blueberries.
I love
And so like
that.
I think that's
Blueberry.
like where we would just always joke like, oh, they're just
Yeah,
like little
sure.
blueberries. So
Oh,
maybe that's what I was
funny.
trying to like say,
Yeah.
like be stupid. But then the fact that she didn't like it and the other friend liked it
Yeah.
makes no sense. So I don't
love
know
it.
what
Out of
that meant.
context, blueberry smiley face.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. Okay, next one. If your name is Ryan, I probably love you. Hashtag Lochte. Hashtag Gosling. Hashtag Reynolds.
Mare.
Yeah,
time.
that's gotta
Yeah.
be you. I'm like, dear Lord, please don't let that one be me.
Big time.
Were you
Big time
watching
that
the
one-
Olympics or something?
It was in August, so I think it was after.
Yeah.
Hi, bud. I think it was after the Olympics. Yep. I was big into Ryan Lochte. That was when Pinterest first came out too.
Wait,
so
which one was it? Ryan Lochte?
He was a swimmer.
he was a swimmer.
Oh,
He and Michael
yeah.
Phelps were around the same time.
Yeah, that was a good
yeah,
time.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good time.
That was 2012. All right, are you guys enjoying this? Do you
I'm
want
I'm horrifically loving it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Give us a couple
perfect.
more.
Give
Okay,
us some
okay.
nasty ones. Like
Okay.
just
Okay.
destroy us
Okay,
with our
absolutely.
own words.
This fly that keeps circling my head and landing on my arm. My patience is almost gone.
It's me.
Casey?
It's
It's
Casey.
me.
Gonna go ahead and be Casey. Yep.
Yep.
Fernando Jimenez said, "Kill it." So there's that.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Oh, also, this one isn't your status, but this was funny. In 2011, your mom posted on your wall, "Casey, where are you?"
Get out.
Which I
Get
just
out.
think that's funny. Of like,
No.
that was an age where like that was a time where that was the communication.
She probably didn't know where I was. And I'm telling you, my phone was probably missing somewhere. She used to call my friends and ask if I was with them because she
Okay.
didn't know where I was.
Yeah. Kif commented on it.
Mhm.
Thinkster?
Oh.
Question mark. I'm guessing that's a
Oh.
inside joke.
What'd she say?
Thinkster?
Oh.
I'll send the screenshot
Yeah.
to you.
I don't know.
Anyways, so that I
Okay.
just needed to also add that one. Okay. I miss my mommy. Sad face.
Mare.
Is that me again?
You betcha.
Oh gosh.
What's
Casey,
going on?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought that it was gonna be like Kiera's was gonna be the one that I scrolled the most on. Yours, you were kind of very active on Facebook.
What the frick? I need to chill.
Oh
I-
gosh.
My mom was on vacation and I missed her. I wanted her to come home.
I miss your mom too, honestly.
Oh, I missed your mommy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, this one is really good. This one I actually laughed out loud. That pee felt so good. Thumbs up.
Please tell me that's
Please tell me it was
Kiara's.
you.
Is
Please tell me
Kiera?
it wasn't me. What?
Yes.
But-
Are you
yes.
kidding
But
me?
she
Please tell me like
commented,
someone else.
Guys, I was definitely hacked. Thanks, Emma. ...
Oh, Emma, that's so funny.
But
Do you
I
remember
just-
when we
that
used to
felt
hack
so
on
good.
people's Facebooks and make statuses
Oh
for
my
them?
gosh. I used to do that all the time to my brother, and all I would say is, Kiera is the best sister in the world.
I love that.
I love her so much. He would literally
Hilarious.
get on there and be like, I was definitely hacked. I'm like, okay, you didn't have to like jump on that fast.
I definitely would
Wait, but
never
I,
write
but
that
I
status.
said that. Also, Emma, if you're listening, LOL. Like, that's the one that she wanted to go with the fact that I.
Yeah, pee.
I know.
That pee felt so good.
Oh, gosh.
All right, a couple more. Thanks to our awesome God, I got player of the game today in the second half.
Oh gosh, no.
Casey?
Wait, Mare, is this you?
It
Come
is.
on. Oh,
is me.
thank goodness. I was
It
like,
is
I
me.
wouldn't say that, would I?
Unfortunately,
Thanks
it is
to
me.
our awesome God.
Also, awesome and God are both capitalized. Capital
Well,
A, capital G. Awesome
Thank
God.
goodness that you capitalized the G.
I know.
Yeah.
OMW.
OMW, guys. Okay. This also, remember how I talked about how I didn't have friends before?
Yeah.
This is kind of why.
Okay.
This one's going to be very obvious, but I have to read it.
Okay.
I hate my dairy feeder. I've gone out with him a lot, but he still is the exact same way he was the first time. I am very cheesed off right now.
What?
Could it be more Meredith? Also,
And
cheesed
that's
off?
me. Yep.
Oh,
Dairy
that's
feeder,
Oh,
4-H
gosh.
dead giveaway.
funny.
So
I don't
that
even know what that
sucks.
is.
It's a bull calf that is castrated. So it's not going to be a bull. You know.
It's like a eunuch.
Oh, gosh.
Eunuch. There are some with really good comments.
So are you
Oh,
like screenshotting
okay.
them at
I
like this
just-
point? Or
I just took a picture on my computer.
Oh.
Okay, I'll do
okay.
two more. I'll do two more. Does that sound okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. Why do you want more? Or are you over it?
No, I'm grossed out by myself.
Okay. You should be.
OMW.
This one, sitting with my mama on the couch. Smiley face.
Me. That's me. That's
Yep.
me.
And Kathy Miller commented, "Get a life, kid."
Get out.
That's honestly the funniest
That's
part of
also
it.
that's a,
What year is is this?
2011.
Okay, so I will say 2010, 2011,
The end of freshman year.
2012. It was a really dark time for me. I really didn't have a ton of friends.
Oh, well, yeah. You
Your mom was your only friend.
So my mom was my best friend, and so was my sister. So, yeah, that was probably as riveting as it got for me. I didn't have a ton of friends.
I'm sorry.
I think Facebook was my outlet, you guys. Ew.
I think it was. I think it was your vice.
It was my vice.
It was actually your second friend.
It was
next to your
my
mom.
first one was my mom. I stopped posting progressively after I got friends. I just want to point that out.
Gosh.
Anyway, but I
like
still
that.
posted too much.
Okay, here's the last one. The chef from Hell's Kitchen killed himself with this emoji.
Mayor.
That's terrible.
It was me and also wasn't true.
Why did you say that?
I don't know. Well,
That doesn't
in
even
the
make any
comments,
sense.
someone said no, he didn't, but I didn't screenshot that one. I just screenshot the comment that came up, and it was me. Oh, so it wasn't that guy? Oopsie. That explains why I saw a commercial for another one of his shows yesterday. Haha.
Mayor.
Gosh.
So just spreading misinformation.
Did you mean Gordon Ramsay himself?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm telling him. You
I'm
started a
telling him.
rumor.
He's gonna be so mad. He's an angry guy.
Oh,
Please
gosh.
tell me we have one more of Kira's. Please tell me we have
sorry.
one
I
more.
don't think mine were that exciting.
I'll
It's
do another
probably
one of
another
Kira's.
quote from Toby.
Winners never quit, and
Please.
capital Q, quitters never win.
Okay.
But someone commented, Tyler Moyers, don't know who that is. He commented,
Oh.
they do if they quit smoking. Which that was kind of funny.
Oh gosh, that's actually really funny. I don't know, someone that I went to.
Why are you
school with.
constantly just putting quotes, Kira?
Yeah,
The
Kira's.
thing is, I didn't realize I was such a big quote girly, but apparently I am.
There were a lot of music lyrics I scrolled past, I will
Oh,
say.
I have no doubt.
gosh.
From
No
K-Love,
doubt.
you know.
No.
More
Nutella
music,
is eating happiness in a jar.
K-Love.
It's Kira. And with that, we come to a close.
Oh god.
Wow, that was good, Mare.
So thank you. I was proud of that one.
Yeah.
That one actually
That-
took quite a
Oh,
bit of time.
I mean those were years ago. I think I got
Yeah,
my Facebook
I'm
when I
embarrassed.
think I was in 6th or 7th grade.
I
And
think
I
I-
lied about my age.
I
Oh,
love that.
something
I think
like
I was
that.
in 8th. No, I was in 7th grade when I got mine. And way too young. The audacity. I used to make a post every time I hit a new 100 friends and say, finally hit 200 friends. Love you all.
Get
Wait,
out.
Stop. You were ahead
No.
of your time with that, actually.
I know.
That's what people do when they get like 1 million subscribers.
I know.
You
Should we do a
200 friends,
giveaway?
Love you all.
And
Amazon
how many of
gift
them
card
did
giveaway.
you know? How many of
Oh,
them
right.
did you really know?
They
I
were
think I
like my
got a
siblings'
Facebook-
friends.
Do you
Oh my God.
remember though when you would make like relationship statuses with just like
Oh.
random people?
I didn't do that. I didn't have friends.
I did it. I'd be like, this person's my cousin, and it'd be like my friend.
I like that.
Well, no, like there was this guy I was kind of talking to, and he asked if we wanted to be official on Facebook. It was like a joke. It's like we would do it as
Okay.
a joke. So you would be officially dating somebody, but not actually.
Oh, like until you're Facebook official.
Yes.
Then it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I
yeah.
thought you meant like me and Tori would be like in a relationship. You know,
No,
like,
like we do that
joking.
too. No, we
Oh.
do that too.
okay.
No, I get what you mean.
Didn't
Like
do that.
you're only really dating if like we see it.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
I don't even
Yeah.
think Noah and I are Facebook official.
Time to update that status,
know?
girl.
Funny.
Time
Oh
to
my
update that
gosh.
status.
I remember how big of a
Yes.
deal it was though once I was like, oh my gosh, they're Facebook
They're on
official.
there.
No, I know. Same.
It
Still to
low-key
this day.
still kind of is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If someone yeah.
I'm like, oh, they finally got married, and it was like they updated it, and it's like 2004. I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay.
You know, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this was actually a long time ago, but you're
Yep.
just putting it out
Oh,
there now.
man.
That was good, Mare. I love that.
That was so good. Now I want to go back and make sure I delete any
Delete
inconvenient
every
evidence
trace.
on me.
Please.
Yeah.
Might as well just start over. Delete your Facebook. Burn
Poor
it to the
Kira.
ground.
Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you, I don't know, learned something from
Yeah.
our stories, and
If
that
you
this
have any
was a
follow-up
beneficial episode.
questions, send us a DM or email us at
Yeah, totally.
itsbeenforeverpod@gmail.com. Yeah.
Let us
all
know
of
if
our
you had
story-
friends growing up.
Yeah. Did you have friends? Maybe if you don't have friends, you grow up and you start a podcast with your friends.
Yeah.
With your adult friends.
Yeah.
Life only begins then.
And if you're still
What a
living
quote.
in your hometown that you grew up in,
That's okay.
that's okay. Take a
That's
couple
okay.
months and travel somewhere else, though.
Yeah.
And then they come back. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's really cool.
To
The world
explore.
is a really big, awesome place. And
Yes.
it would be a shame to miss out on it.
You know,
Yes.
I think I've come to the conclusion there are two types of people. The ones who do want to like explore life and who like don't want to be comfortable, and then the person who's I'm okay doing this same thing forever and I don't really feel a desire to go out and do. And
Mhm.
both are fine. I
Yeah.
think we all just tend to fall in the
Not
the
that
first
one.
category.
The
Yeah,
first
thank
one,
you. I was like,
yeah.
what did I say first? The first category where like we crave adventure, we crave like
Mm.
something
Mhm.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's not worse or better. It's just how
Yeah.
you look at
Mhm.
life.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
I have friends from high school who are back in my hometown and love it genuinely. Again, I
Yeah.
would get tired of it, but we're not
Mhm.
the same person. So
Totally.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
it works for them. So follow along everywhere. We're on TikTok, Instagram. We have
Hopefully TikTok
our
stays
email
supposed to
inbox
get
is
banned.
open. Do what?
TikTok is supposed to get banned January 19th.
True.
They've
So
been saying
follow
that
us
for like
while you
3
can.
years, though.
I know.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
true.
doesn't.
We'll see. It's kind of like student loans. They keep saying they'll forgive them and they never do. So
So I still have to
I'm
pay
still
out?
I'm still waiting
I
on
know.
them to be forgiven.
that's why I still haven't paid mine for the last 10 years. So
Please.
just kidding.
You're like, it's gonna be forgiven.
yeah.
No, but we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll
Yes,
tune
thank
back in
you.
next Wednesday for another episode. But until then, we love you guys and goodbye.
Bye.
And goodbye.
Okay.
So long,
Bye.
good evening, and good night.
And farewell.
And
So long,
bye-bye.
farewell.
Farewell. That's not right.
I know.
So long,
That's it.
farewell.
To you and you
So
and you.
long.
Kira would know. She was a nun.
I was a
in
nun.
that play. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I need to lead with that statement in my next conversation. Yeah, so I was a nun in high school.
Hot pink hair.
Hot pink hair was
Hot
a
pink
nun.
nun.
Hot pink
I'm
nun.
in my
That's
Rumspringa. Okay, guys, love you so much. Good night.
Okay, what?
Bye.
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 Bye.